Another Monday, another noon walk, which means it's time for another update regarding situation here in Slovenia. And as I have been repeating myself with the characterization of the events, so another bad week, another record set, and so forth. So I think on Wednesday or Tuesday, I'm not really sure, we surpassed 5,000 deaths due to COVID. So yeah. And then yesterday, so on Sunday, we set another record regarding percentage of positive tests, which is now at 50.8. So hip hip hooray for us, for all the unvaccinated people that are still going out and most likely protesting for the measures against COVID. But yeah, you know, people have rights but no obligations, and this is why we have such a bad situation here in Slovenia. Yeah, so the situation regarding, as I said previous week, so far we have enough, ventilation equipment and, let's say, space for the such equipment and beds and so forth. But the main problem is that we don't have personnel anymore. Just today they released that our second largest hospital, so the University Clinical Center in Maribor, currently has 450 of their employees out due to being sick, which is, quite a large number, especially when all of these are, medical personnel and medical support personnel. And so yeah, last week they also, and Liza's friend, we will continue on later. So meeting is over. You will see the video in the near future, but now let's continue with our update. So yeah, I think the last thing that I was saying was that personnel in Maribor, medical personnel in Maribor, is quite stretched, which means this is the main problem for our healthcare system, that we don't have enough personnel, trained personnel, to help out and and to manage the devices, especially the respiratory devices, artificial lungs and so forth. So the last week they made the appeal for the basically whole Slovenia. They were looking for volunteers, especially they're especially appealing to any students in healthcare field to volunteer to, and they also can, of course they can volunteer, plus they can also work. We have a so-called student work, plus they can also use this time in the hospital as part of their clinical work, practice that they have to fulfill every year. So basically in Maribor, in fact, there was so much replied for this appeal that they have fulfilled every position that they needed. And then Of course, students cannot operate such machines, but they can relieve other personnel. So let's say, helping carrying garbage away, bedpans, working in the storage room and so forth. So yeah, plus last week medical teams from the Slovenian armed forces, I think 4 of them, were sent to the different public hospitals across Slovenia. This is basically, you would think, armed forces and only 4 teams, but this is due to the fact that Slovenian military really doesn't have its own medical system. So basically all of their doctors are basically, let's say, are reservists employed, in the hospitals, and they also then do some service, in the military. So majority of their military doctors were already combating COVID, but this time they send basically to the hospitals. I think the English word is medical practitioners. So one between the nurse and the medical doctors, and then battlefield medics and so forth. So basically they have a lot of, they have quite a lot of this personnel due to regulations on how the regular units how are staffed. Plus last week our Ministry of Defense and Italian Ministry of Defense made an agreement that around 30 of their military medical personnel will come to Slovenia and help out. I believe they will be mainly stationed at the western part of Slovenia, which already has, Italian minority there, plus majority of Slovenian population knows Italian. And because usually this part of Slovenia in the public school system, the first foreign language is usually Italian, not English, and then the second would be English. Here in, let's say, central Slovenia, usually the first foreign language is English and the second is German. So yeah, and anything else to report? Well, Liza got her menses on Tuesday. So yeah, some dogs are already quite interested in her. And yeah, I still didn't go to get my booster shot. Today I just checked, so today is basically 5 months since I got my second shot. So I have to check out if I have to wait for 6 months or I can already get it at this time, because they had lowered the time limit from 6 months to 4 months for some vaccinations, or even lower, I think 3 months. I will have to check out, and probably this week, if I'm able to, I will go get it. So yeah, that's it from Ljubljana this Monday dreary day. overcast as usual. So yeah, that's it. Bye, and we'll see